From sheep that accidentally become murderers to elephants who don't appreciate amateur photographers, today's episode features 3 stories of people who learned too late that animals can be deadlier than they look. And somehow, none of them are our most shocking story. Hello everyone, welcome to Wow Amazing. In this video, we will go through our volume 23 of top 10 most stupid Darwin Award winners. But before we begin, we would like you guys to subscribe to Wow Amazing and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on amazing and entertaining content that will surely get you amazed. Now buckle up, because this volume is absolutely packed with tales that'll make you question humanity's survival as a species. Number 10, the slow learner. Let's start our countdown with a tale that proves some people never learn life's most basic lesson. Seatbelts save lives. Meet Brandon, a 21-year-old Virginia man who thought traffic laws were just suggestions. It's March 23rd, 2001, and he's driving to the courthouse, not for a parking ticket or jaywalking, but for reckless driving, speeding, driving without a license, and not wearing seatbelts. You'd think going to court for these exact charges would make him drive safely and wear a seatbelt for once. But Brandon? Nope. He decided this courthouse trip was the perfect time to speed without his seatbelt again. His Hyundai crossed the median of Interstate 64 at high speed, hitting a truck pulling a flatbed trailer loaded with 3 cars. As luck would have it, and by luck, we mean incredibly bad judgment, Brandon had again chosen not to wear his seatbelt. He was thrown from his car and died at the scene, proving that irony has perfect timing. The sad part? This was completely avoidable. A simple click of a seatbelt, maybe slowing down a bit, following basic traffic laws, any of these could have changed the outcome. Instead, Brandon became a real-life example of why those laws exist in the first place. Sometimes life gives you multiple warnings. Sometimes it gives you a very clear message about what not to do. And sometimes people just don't listen to what the universe is trying to tell them. Number 9, sheep sleep eternal. From the things that sound made up but aren't files comes a story that confused Egyptian police and probably gave them nightmares about farm animals. It's March 9th, 2001, in the vast Egyptian desert near Cairo. Police find 20-year-old shepherd Mokhtar shot dead in the middle of nowhere. There are no witnesses, no footprints, no signs of a struggle, just a dead shepherd lying among his sheep. The police were completely puzzled. Was it murder? Suicide? Some invisible killer? They looked at every clue like they were solving a mystery movie, except the location was the entire desert. Then they figured it out, and the answer was both smart detective work and totally ridiculous. Mokhtar had fallen asleep among his sheep, which sounds peaceful enough. But he made one big mistake. He didn't put his rifle somewhere safe before his nap. As he slept under the stars, one of his sheep decided to check out this interesting metal thing. One wrong step on the trigger, and a bullet ended the sleeping shepherd's life instantly. The police took the gun away from the flock. Imagine writing that report. Murder weapon taken from the sheep. The lesson here? Always put your gun somewhere safe, even if you think your biggest worry is counting sheep, because sometimes the sheep count back, and they're really bad with gun safety. Number 8, precarious perch predicament. Hunting has traditions that go back thousands of years, but sometimes new ideas lead to shocking results. Meet Brent, a 31-year-old Kansas bow hunter who decided to try something different. Instead of putting his hunting stand in a tree like every hunter before him, Brent saw what looked like an old utility pole. Perfect height, great view, no tree climbing needed. What could go wrong? Well, turns out those 2 wires running along the pole weren't just decoration. They were very much alive and carrying enough electricity to power a whole neighborhood. The second Brent touched both wires, he learned about his huge mistake in the worst way possible. His body was found 4 days later, with his 2 dogs still waiting by his truck. The dogs showed more sense than their owner. His friends couldn't believe it. Brent was always so careful and safe, they said. Whatever happened that day, I'm sure he looked at it and decided those wires had to be dead. It was a deadly wrong guess. Power poles belong to the electric company, and climbing them is against the law if you live through it to get arrested. But Brent wasn't the only one with this bright idea. Just 3 days earlier in Pennsylvania, another bow hunter did the exact same thing. Put his hunting blind on a utility pole. He touched 2 electric wires and got knocked down by the power. The difference? The Pennsylvania hunter lived to tell his story and warn others. Sometimes luck and stupidity dance together, and sometimes only one shows up to the party. Number 7. Bass Ackwards Beauty Standards. From Kansas electricity to Florida beauty disaster, our next story proves that sometimes wanting to look better can be deadly. Meet our 53-year-old Fort Lauderdale woman who was tired of not having enough curves in the back. While most women her age were trying to make their bottoms smaller, she wanted to go the opposite way, no matter what it took. After trying safer options like padded underwear, which didn't give her the big results she wanted, she made a choice that would be her last. She found an unlicensed fake plastic surgeon who said he could make her bottom much bigger using silicone shots. And where would this medical work happen? A real hospital? A proper clinic? Nope. Her living room. Because nothing says safe medical care like amateur surgery on your couch. The plan was to pump her bottom full of silicone right there in her home. Instead, she got breathing problems so bad that paramedics had to rush her to the hospital. Hospital workers right away noticed the strange needle marks all over her body and called the police. The woman who wanted to make a bigger impression ended up dying on a hospital bed. The real tragedy isn't just the death. It's how desperate she felt to trust her life to someone without a license doing surgery in a house. Beauty standards killed another person, but this time trying to look perfect led to the worst result possible: death. Number 6. Enraged Elephant Encounter. African safaris let you see amazing animals up close. The key words there being up close, not way too close for safety. It's January 7th, 2001, in Tanzania's Ruaha National Park. Our U.S. Peace Corps volunteer was on a safari tour, camera ready, taking pictures of her African trip. The tour bus was the perfect spot, high up, protected, and most importantly, a safe distance from the wild animals. But sometimes you want that perfect shot that breaks a few safety rules, right? Wrong. She spotted a huge elephant and decided the bus windows were blocking her great photo. The safety talk about keeping arms and legs inside the bus suddenly seemed like the guides were just being too worried instead of giving life-saving rules. She left the safety of the tour bus to get a better picture. The elephant wasn't interested in being part of a photo shoot and showed its anger in the most direct way possible. Both the woman and her camera were crushed to death by the mad elephant. The sad part? The best wildlife photographers know that the most amazing shots often come from being patient and respecting the animal's space, not from getting closer than safety allows. Her death reminds us that tour guide rules aren't suggestions. They're survival instructions written by people who learned from previous mistakes. Number 5. Back in the bus tragedy. Sometimes a story is so perfect for a Darwin Award that it breaks our hearts when rules get in the way. This story from Brazil shows what happens when thrill-seeking goes wrong. It's October 3rd, 2012, when bus driving through the narrow streets of Cearã's busy city area. The driver, with years of experience, carefully moves through traffic like a well-practiced driver. Then a passenger decided to add a dangerous twist to this city ballet. Our passenger stands on their seat and hangs their body out the window. Arms out, hair flying, living their best life in what honestly sounds like a really fun experience. Pure joy and excitement. But the problem is, hanging out a bus window makes the bus about 2 feet wider. The streets of Ceará, very narrow. Utility poles, right there and very solid. Head meets utility pole meets head. The result was immediate death that could have been easily avoided. Perfect Darwin Award material in every way, bad judgment leading to a totally preventable death from not thinking about basic space and distance. But here's where our story gets heartbreaking. The Darwin Awards have one strict rule. You must be 18 or older to qualify. Why? Because before 18, it's called a tragic mistake. After 18, it's called adult stupidity. In this case, the person had just turned 18 on the very same day, officially old enough to earn the honor. And he did, in the worst way possible. It's a perfect Darwin Award story, reminding us that dangerous thrill-seeking doesn't wait for age, but only adults get the dubious recognition for their final bad choices. Number 4, rocketing to glory. Fireworks and curiosity make a dangerous mix, especially when holiday celebration meets science experiment gone wrong. It's February 7th, 2005, Malaysia. The Lunar New Year celebrations were happening among Malaysia's Chinese community, even though fireworks were banned. Because nothing says celebration like illegal explosives, right? Juan, a 29-year-old excavator operator, spent his evening watching the fireworks show outside a nightclub in Kuala Lumpur. These weren't small backyard fireworks. We're talking about rockets that shot as high as 10-story buildings before exploding in the sky. His work mind started thinking, how do these things work? What makes them so powerful? How do they get that high and explode at just the right time? Being curious is usually good, but timing and safety matter a lot when you're being curious. Juan walked up to one of the launch tubes, his engineering brain working. He wanted to understand how it was built, how the power system worked, the technical magic that could send explosives flying into the sky with such perfect timing. So he bent over the launch tube and looked directly down into it, wondering how these powerful rockets worked. Right at that moment, the rocket decided to show him how it worked. The tube fired, sending Juan flying 10 meters through the air. He died right away from serious head injuries, according to police. The lesson? Curiosity might not have killed this cat, but it definitely killed this excavator operator. When you're looking at explosive devices, maybe pick a time when they're not about to explode. Science investigation needs proper safety rules, especially when you're studying things designed to launch at building high speeds. Number 3, tide waits for no man. Beach camping needs you to understand nature's patterns, especially when your sleeping spot is right in nature's path. It's May 23rd, 2005, in Crystal Beach, Texas. John had spent a great day fishing in the surf, but he was getting tired. Most people would go home or set up proper beach camping gear. John chose a third option that seemed smart when he was tired. The full moon was bright, too bright for good sleeping. He needed somewhere dark to take a nap before going home. Looking around the beach, he found the perfect answer. The darkest spot available was underneath his truck, which he'd parked right on the beach. Here's what John's tired brain forgot to think about. Beaches change constantly. Tides come in, tides go out, sand moves, heavy things sink. As John slept peacefully in his makeshift bed, time passed and nature did what it always does. The tide rolled back in, just like it had twice every day for millions of years. The wet sand began to move and shift under his truck's weight. The next morning, people on the beach reported a pickup truck sitting in the water. A tow truck driver came to move the vehicle and had barely moved it 1 foot when he found something horrible. The body of a 37-year-old man pressed into the sand underneath it. The beach became his final resting place, not from any crazy accident or risky behavior, but from simply not understanding how tides work. The sad part is that this was totally predictable and completely avoidable. Any local person could have explained why parking and sleeping under cars on beaches during tide changes can kill you. Sometimes the most ordinary decisions have the most permanent results. Number 2, heck on wheels. Some people are born to be wild. Others just think they are. And that's the difference between legends and Darwin Award winners. It's April 17th, 2005, in Syracuse, Indiana. Meet Joseph, a 26-year-old wannabe rebel, riding through the Chain O' Lakes area on his Yamaha moped. Wind in his hair, freedom in his heart, and the raw power of a small engine buzzing beneath him. Then he saw flashing lights in his mirror. Most people would pull over, take their speeding ticket, and get on with their lives. But Joseph? He thought his moped could outrun a police car. This tough guy revved his engine and took off into the night, determined to show the cops who was boss. The speedometer needle went past 10 miles per hour, 20, 30, and within a minute, it hit the danger zone at a blazing 40 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. But no matter how fast Joseph pushed his little machine, he couldn't lose the police officer behind him, if only he had a rocket booster. The small engine buzzed like an angry bee under the pressure of this high-speed chase. Whatever his last thoughts were, they probably didn't include basic math about mopeds hitting trees. Joseph lost control of his wannabe speed machine, crashed into a tree, and died right away. The great moped escape ended not with a dramatic jump over a cliff or a blaze of glory shootout, but with the simple reality that 40 miles per hour on a moped is still 40 miles per hour when you hit something that doesn't move. Sometimes big dreams meet basic physics, and physics always wins the fight. that 40 miles per hour on a moped is still 40 miles per hour when you hit an immovable object. Number 1. Spy versus self. Our number 1 Darwin Award winner proves that the pen truly is mightier than the sword, especially when the pen is actually a gun and you're holding it wrong. It's May 28, 2004 in Italy. Meet Fabio, 28, a man with many interests who had recently left the family ostrich business for a new job as a truck driver. But Fabio's hobbies went far beyond birds and transportation. One evening, hanging out with friends at a pub in Kersey, Fabio started talking about his latest passion: spy gadgets. He was really excited about something he just bought that looked exactly like what secret agents would use. "Check this out," Fabio said, pulling what looked like a normal pen from his pocket. "This looks like a regular pen, but it's actually a gun that shoots one bullet. Pretty cool, right?" His friends were impressed. But Fabio wasn't happy just showing off his spy gear. He wanted to prove it worked, to show that this wasn't some cheap fake toy, but a real piece of spy equipment. "Watch this," he said, pointing the pen gun at his head and clicking the button. The cleverly disguised weapon worked perfectly. Too perfectly. The .22 caliber bullet went into Fabio's left brain with accuracy that any secret agent would admire. This wasn't broken equipment or normal user error. The spy pen did exactly what it was designed to do. Fabio's mistake was treating a real gun like a demo prop while pointing it at his own head. The ultimate irony? Fabio successfully proved that his spy gadget was real. The demonstration was perfect. The method was deadly. Bonus entry, rutting contest. Our bonus story features 2 males who decided to settle their romantic rivalry using motor scooters instead of common sense. It's October 2004 in Chiayi, Taiwan. Most animal fights for mates involve 2 males, like mountain sheep that ram into each other at high speed to impress females and win the right to reproduce. These animals have thick skulls and extra brain fluid to protect them from the competition. Humans don't have such thick skulls and natural protection, so we usually don't fight this way. But humans are tool users, so we can find fake ways to overcome natural limits. Think medieval knights who wore armor and rode horses toward each other at high speed. The newest example of human mating competition happened when 2 Taiwanese university students put on protective helmets and revved their motor scooters to impress a pretty female classmate. The 2 were in the same class but weren't friends. Other students said both men liked the same girl. After drinking during the Mid-Autumn Festival, the 2 ran into each other and words were spoken. The challenge was made. Instead of horses, the 2 would ride their motor scooters at each other at high speed, and whoever didn't turn away would win the exclusive right to pursue the female. Both were really serious about her because neither of them turned away. Their scooters crashed head-on at 50 miles per hour. Both died instantly. The girl at the center of the competition refused to comment, except to say that she wasn't interested in either of them. Sometimes the prize isn't worth the price, and sometimes what you're fighting for was never actually available in the first place. Darwin would call this natural selection with a modern twist. And there you have it, folks. 10 more examples of evolution in action, ranging from traffic law ignorance to spy gadget mishaps, with stops along the way for cosmetic surgery disasters and moped chase scenes. Each of these stories serves as a reminder that common sense isn't actually that common, and that sometimes the universe has a twisted sense of humor when it comes to natural selection. Remember to hit that like button if these stories made you grateful for your survival instincts. Subscribe for more amazing content and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode of human nature's most dramatic moments. Share this video with someone who could use a reminder about basic safety protocols. You might just save a life. Until next time, stay smart, stay safe, and remember, when in doubt, don't point firearms at your head for demonstration purposes. This is Wow Amazing, signing off. Keep being amazing and keep being alive.